Hello everybody, I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. It is Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, where we are doing this extended weather update, talking about the changes that are moving into our area with the rain chances that are coming up a little bit more and the temperatures that are going way up. We're going from below average temperatures to above average temperatures. In fact, going back into the lower 90s for the end of the week and also the beginning of the weekend. Now, even though we're seeing the rain chances coming up, they're not going to be high rain chances. We're just talking about getting back into that pattern where we're going to see the potential for just a few isolated showers to develop here during the daytime hours on Wednesday as well as on Thursday. And out there tonight, we haven't seen any activity at all here in our area. We've just been dealing with these pesky showers in parts of northeast Georgia, and that's where these light and even some pockets of moderate rain have been hanging out really since 4, 5, 6 o'clock tonight during our newscast through the evening hours. Excuse me, these showers up in northeast Georgia have been rather off and on, but elsewhere we have been dry and virtually cloud-free as well. Not many clouds around here in our area where things are looking great here in the metro area, but you have to go up to the north where we find some of those showers, especially over into parts of northeast Georgia. Now, we had some showers earlier in Fannin County and Union County. A lot of those have ended now, but the ones that have been over actually into Fannin County, Union County, and then Towns County still has had a few showers. Those beginning to diminish, but then they've been a little more active there in parts of Rabun County. We'll get in just a little bit tighter here to these areas so you can kind of see where we're watching. Now, even up in Clay County, North Carolina, this county here where you see Shooting Creek, we do have more showers that are up there and even some moderate rain just to the north of Shooting Creek, and these back here to the west beginning to push into another round coming in to parts of Clay County. So that's where most of the rain has been. I'm going to put the rainfall estimates on here. This might take a second to build. There we go. Where we have some of these rain totals here that, let me zoom in just a little bit tighter so you can kind of center up on this. These are the spots. These are the 24-hour rain totals. And you can see right there, right there, north and west of Clayton, all right? In this blue, and this blue. This is where I'm going to put some rainfall estimates on there. That one to the east of Shooting Creek, right there on the line, that's showing a little more than 1.5 inches of rain that fell there. And then let's go back to this one right there in the western parts of Fannin County, indicating this little bit caused about 1 inch of rain. So whereas most areas were dry, there were just a couple of spots up in far northeast Georgia that saw some of those showers. Now, I'm going to put some other plots on here in the green colors that you're seeing, like over into parts of Towns County. Maybe 1/2 inch of rain fell there, just south of Clayton, 0.2 of an inch. So really not a lot. There have just been a couple of spots there, a few spots really, where the rain just wanted to kind of settle in one area and it dumped a good bit in some spots, if you call 1 inch or more a good bit. Compared to everywhere else, yeah, that is a good bit of rain, but it was very isolated areas where we see those 1 inch plus rain totals. And that's all because of that moisture just kind of wanted to hang out over those counties there in parts of northeast Georgia. Now, also, if you are watching us tonight at 5 and 6 o'clock tonight, I'm going to change this loop time. This is a 2-hour loop. Let me change this to a 6-hour loop. And you'll be able to see these areas that we were watching a little bit earlier back into Alabama. Let me put this on, if I can get this to go into motion here. There we go. Where we were watching these areas back into Alabama that had some heavier rain earlier coming out of Mississippi and into western Alabama. We had some pockets even with some thunder and lightning, but those were pretty much falling apart before they even got into the Birmingham area. And we weren't expecting those to make it here at all, but that just kind of shows you how they were weakening going into Alabama. We still have a few more back here into parts of Mississippi. Those are also weakening as they move down toward the south and to the east. So none of this is really going to be impacting us tonight. It is going to remain a rather quiet night out there for tonight. Here's a live look at what we're watching right now in over Atlanta. where we have the mainly clear sky. Looking over the city, things are looking really nice here. Of course, we always have a beautiful skyline there. We had a nice sunset tonight, which that sunset was at 8:01 tonight. And before I get to the rest of this, I want to show you one graphic that I made a little earlier. I forgot to stack this into my show, but I want to show this to you because we are going to see here the sun setting. It has been setting earlier and earlier, and I've been telling you every night about how, it used to set at 8:52, and then when I would do these at 9 o'clock and show you these live tower cams, we were still seeing some light of day and the light on the horizon from the sun going down. But we're not seeing that anymore because the sun is setting earlier and earlier. And if you like sunsets after 8 o'clock, we only have one more of those. So we just had one tonight. Tomorrow, the sunset is going to be at 8 o'clock. And then on Thursday, the sun is going to be setting before 8 o'clock. With that sunset, that'll be at 7:59. And then we're going to keep seeing that go a little shorter and shorter, earlier and earlier here every night. So just be aware of that we're seeing the sun going down earlier and earlier. And there's that view again from our tower cam there at Arizona Avenue in DeKalb County, looking back toward the city. Here's another view. This is looking over Truist Park. No Braves game there tonight, but we have mainly clear skies. There's really comfortable conditions out there tonight. And then this is the view closer in to the city right there. This is from our Georgia Tech camera looking up toward the Midtown area. And of course, we have a beautiful skyline there. Clear skies. You can see a couple little clouds that are out there tonight, but again, nothing really major going on out there for tonight. Temperatures today, another below average day. We got up to 81 degrees this afternoon. Even with the sunshine breaking through, it really wasn't enough to really heat us up that much. Our average high for this time of year is 87, so we were 6 degrees below the average today. Our low this morning was 64. That's cooler than it was yesterday morning. I think yesterday morning's low was 68, so we were 64, a little bit cooler. And the average low for this time of year is 69. So again, another day with below average temperatures. But that is all about to change as we see some hotter air that's going to start moving our way. Here's another look at our rainfall numbers there. Excuse me, no rain out there today. Rainfall deficit continuing to grow. Remember yesterday we were talking about the rainfall deficit being at about 3/4 of an inch. Now about 0.86 inches below where we should be in rainfall for the year. Here's a look at how those temperatures looked today with those lows in the 60s. There's the 65-degree temperature earlier. We did get to 64 in between these hourlies here. And then we were holding pretty much in the 70s for a big part of the day until we bumped up into those low 80s. You see 80 at 4, 80 at 5, 81 at 6 o'clock. That was our high temperature. And then now we are into the 70s. So we really are spoiled. We haven't seen temperatures in the 90s since August 21st. And that is very rare. Even though the average high for this time of year is in the upper 80s, we always still go above average occasionally there. So this is very rare to go this long here at the end of August and beginning of September to not have any 90s, but we think those 90s will be back on Friday and on Saturday. Look at the temperature right now, 75. Of course, Atlanta's one of the, an urban heat island holding on to that heat a little longer. Rome, you're also at 75, but everybody else is a little cooler. We have some lower 70s now in Lawrenceville, Canton, Gainesville, and Dalton, but 60s in Blairsville and Clayton, and even some metro areas are in the 60s too, like LaGrange. Carrollton coming in at 65, Covington 68, and Athens at 66 degrees. We will bottom out at about 64 degrees here early tomorrow morning, and then get up to 85 in the afternoon. So it's going to be warmer tomorrow afternoon compared to what we had out there for today. And I want you also to be aware of a few spotty showers are possible. Not everybody is going to get hit by rain tomorrow. It's not really an organized system. It's just going to be a few isolated showers that pop up. That rain chance, about 30%, and any chance for that is mainly going to be in those later afternoon hours. So here's the forecast track. Tonight, we're dry. We have a few of those clouds around. In the morning, I'm thinking we'll be dry here in the metro area, but the models are showing a couple of showers possible in northwest and north Georgia. Again, nothing widespread. A lot of that will fall apart. And then getting into the lunchtime hour, a mixture of sunshine and clouds here, not really anything with rain. And then in the afternoon, you see that? Not impressive coverage at all. We're still going with a 30% chance for a shower here tomorrow and into the evening as well. And then another day on Thursday with about a 30% chance that you may get hit by a shower at any time really during the day here on Thursday, but not really widespread. Any rain that does happen to develop won't add a lot to your rain gauge, but just know it's going to be a couple of those nuisance showers around possible. And then on Friday, we're taking the rain chances away. This model tried to kick up a little shower in the afternoon. I really think it would be a less than a 20% chance, but it's going to be hot with temperatures back up into the lower 90s here for Friday. Here's a look at the moisture map. Again, the blue colors indicating the drier air. Again, a little moisture kind of try to build back in as those colors lighten up a little bit, but not showing a big time rain chance. Then as we head into the weekend, the humidity levels are going to start building a little bit more. We're going to hold on to a 20% chance for a shower here on Saturday as well as on Sunday. Monday, more of this moisture building in here, but still rain chances are going to be hanging on the low end, but we're going to have a lot more humidity around, so it's going to be feeling a little more muggy out there. In fact, you can see that with the dew points. That's the measure. Let me go back to that map. That's the measure of how much moisture is in the atmosphere. Dew points in the 50s, comfortable, but when you see these dew points back into the 60s, that's when it starts feeling a little more humid, but at least it's not the oppressive humidity that we often see here in the summertime. 30% chance for a shower Wednesday, Thursday. We're calling for no rain chances Friday, then a 20% chance on Saturday as well as on Sunday. Now here's the rain comparison between the models. There have been a lot of differences here. Now this includes that potential rain that could come in later next week. Both of them do, but the American model is saying we might have more than an inch. The European model is saying less than a quarter of an inch. So we'll see. I just wanted to kind of show you those to compare. Morning lows starting to get a little milder here. Saturday morning, we'll see lows back to the lower 70s, and then the other days it'll be there in the 60s, and then afternoon highs also warming up. This is that climb in those temperatures, this red bar going up a little bit each day. We're talking about 85 here tomorrow, 88 Thursday. Average high for this time of year is 87. So we're back to above average temperatures on Thursday, and then the 90s, 92 on Friday, 91 Saturday, then back to 87 here for your Sunday. Now, I also want to show you what we're watching out in the tropics. Now, we've got some convection here in the Gulf. We also have some convection there over in the Atlantic, but nothing really tropical developing there. When you go out more into the eastern Atlantic, this is where you see that system. We've been watching this wave and expecting this to be coming off the coast of Africa. It is off the coast of Africa now. It's out in the Atlantic. It's starting to get a little better organized here. The National Hurricane Center giving this a 30% chance of developing over the next 2 days and a 70% chance of developing over the next 7 days. This would be the general area where the system would get a little better organized and continue moving up toward the west and a little bit to the north and west. If it does become a tropical storm, the next name on the list is Gabrielle. So we'll keep watching that to see if that is going to happen. Now I know you see the blob stop about right there. That's over the next 7-day period where it could be getting a little bit closer to the northern Leeward Islands here. The models, now again, you know a lot can happen with the models between now and next week, but the models have been pretty consistent in showing this developing in this area, kind of coming up this way, and most likely turning away from the United States. But we'll have to wait and see. This is, for now, just something to monitor, just something to watch. Nothing is set in stone right now, but the models have been pretty consistent in keeping this away. So here in summary is what we're going to be watching for the rest of the week for us back here locally. The rain chances are coming back, but they're on the low end. 30% chance tomorrow and a 30% chance here for your Friday. And temperatures going back to above average. Remember, average for this time of year is 87. So when we get up to 88 degrees here on Thursday, that's going to be above average. And then 90s are going to be above average. And we're expecting that for Friday as well as into Saturday with those temperatures that are going to be in those lower 90s. So here is that 7-day outlook showing those temperatures as they warm to 85 Wednesday, 88 Thursday. Both of those days have a 30% chance for just a couple of isolated showers. Friday right now looks dry, partly cloudy skies, but it is going to be hot. High temperatures near 92, 91 on Saturday. This is when we reintroduce a 20% chance for a shower Saturday as well as into Sunday. Temperatures at 87 on Sunday. And then holding on to a 20% chance for a shower Monday and Tuesday as temperatures trend back down to below average, 85 degrees for Monday and 83 degrees here for your Tuesday. So not too active this week. We are just going to be watching for that potential for a few of those few of those isolated showers here and there, maybe some rumbles of thunder and flashes of lightning, but we don't ever really expect anything to be crazy out there or really severe. But then it's just going to be watching those temperatures rise. Again, I mentioned earlier, the last time we were up into the 90s was on August 21st. So it's been a while since we've been in the 90s. We've been spoiled by these below average temperatures, but that's going to go away for at least a few days here with above average temperatures before we start trending down a little bit going into Monday as well as on Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us on this extended weather update here on 11 Alive Plus and Weather Impact 24/7. We love doing these extended talks. We don't have producers in our ear telling us to wrap. We don't have to go to a commercial break. We can just talk to you for a long time. So we hope that you enjoy listening to these too. We'll have another update for you tonight at 11 o'clock during our newscast on 11 Alive News. And then during the day tomorrow, Melissa's back tomorrow. She and Danielle and Chesley will be doing updates throughout the morning hours and the afternoon. And I'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon and more of these updates during the evening too. So we hope you have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here tonight at 11 and then again tomorrow.